Hi everybody, it's a great day. This is Gavin Mail. In this video, we're going to do a little longer form content on the judgment in the Satoshi identity trial, COPA versus Wright. There's a lot of chatter on Twitter. Let's go ahead and break it down and give a non-lawyer's perspective in California, which is probably only worth about this much, but it's going to be for entertainment purposes only. So before we go into the relevant actual words of the court, let's just have a little fun and talk about some of the things that aren't mentioned in this order, all right? And that is, we started shooting videos here about this trial here. We were doing talk about it months ago, but even earlier, part of October, November. But around January, I made a couple videos about the selling of these, what were called the early Satoshi era coins, and then deposited into the Genesis wallet. It was about $27 million. Was it 27 million or was it 27 Bitcoin? Anyway, it was a large amount. I think it was, it was just a large amount of BTC that was deposited into the Genesis wallet, the first Genesis block. That's definitely not talked about here. What's also not talked about here is the $140 million that was recently moved from the 2000 BTC of Satoshi era coins. That's not talked about in here. All right. So we don't know. We can't make a conclusion on whether or not those are relevant items. But what we can say is that 2000 Satoshi era coins of the BTC definitely did move. Okay. It definitely did move. And those are the same wallet addresses that showed up in Kleiman, in the Kleiman v. Wright case. So, and then we do know that shortly thereafter, just a couple days later, that COPA then applied to the court for this emergency injunction relief without notice to Dr. Wright, and the court granted it. So let's just do a quick summary on the judgment. The judgment was granting a worldwide freezing order against Dr. Wright in the amount of £6 million in relation to COPA's cost for winning a trial against him on the issue of identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. So the court found that COPA had a strong case for recovering substantial costs against Dr. Wright after succeeding at trial, and likely on the indemnity basis given his dishonest conduct. Okay, this is what they're finding here. The court found there was a real risk of dissipation of assets by Dr. Wright, and based on factors like his dishonesty, recent asset transfers, failure to pay other judgments, boast about being judgment proof, use of opaque offshore structures. They claimed that he used boasting language like "I'm judgment proof" in other filings. They brought this up, and also about potential asset transfers. Again, none of the Satoshi era coins were mentioned as part of this, but a small stock selling was what they mentioned. The court ordered expedient disclosure from Dr. Wright of his assets worldwide to prevent dissipation before the costs could be enforced against him, and COPA forfeited the usual undertaking in damages by providing a £1.9 million bank guarantee. So there's some confusion on who provided the $1.9 million. That was provided by COPA. It was already there was an existing bank guarantee, which they offered as a undertaking, to get the injunction issued without notice to Dr. Wright. So the court set a return date for April 12th to reconsider the freezing order after receiving Dr. Wright's evidence of his assets. And separate cost and term cost applications by COPA and developers were directed to proceed by further submissions for determination in the papers. So we'll know more about this on October 12th when Dr. Wright gets to respond. But I would like to have a little fun here on entertainment purposes only, and that is my fun little prediction is that Dr. Wright will motion or petition the court for authorization to sell those early Satoshi era coins to pay his debt in good faith. Wouldn't that be funny if he did? Imagine they've got a worldwide freezing order, so he can't sell anything. But apparently in Kleiman, we've already know that he's got a ton of Bitcoin, ton of BTC. We know he's got a ton, so he's not allowed to sell any of that though. It's all frozen. But some bunch of coins were just moving. And now all of a sudden he goes to the court and he says, my honor, Your Honor, will you please allow me to sell the $5 million, the $6 million in BTC, or allow me to send that BTC over to my learned friends over there at COPA, my learned friends over there at BTC Core to pay my debt, please, Your Honor? Wouldn't that be a fun little nuance here if these coins get sold off and moved from potentially the Genesis wallet? What would that do to this case? I don't know what it would do to the case, but it sure would be entertaining as heck for social media. And for me, I would definitely make some commentary on this if all of a sudden that the coins, he asked for the order, right? He could petition the court and ask the court to grant him permission to now execute the move because he's got a freezing order. He can't do anything right now. So he has to petition the court, and the court has to grant him relief to then sell those coins or transfer those coins to pay this debt. All right? So it's going to take another order from the court for him to move anything. What's he going to move? Well, apparently, maybe he doesn't have fiat. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the other side wants to take BTC. And maybe he's got to sell the BTC and then get into fiat and give it over to them. So accordingly, the plot thickens, okay? It thickens. How that's going to affect the ruling, I don't know if it will, but it may affect the overall public perception. If the Satoshi era coins all of a sudden move to pay this debt, maybe the public perception of people will think, well, he is Satoshi because he did that. But the court doesn't think he's Satoshi. So, hey, we'll see. The plot thickens in the Dr. Wright case, Satoshi identity issue. This is Gavin Mail. More to come. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, get the word out there. Shout out to all the guys on Twitter, Rayushi, and also to Daniel Kraywitz, who put out some information on this. And of course, the court judgment itself, it's pretty extensive, but I just did a little short summary here as to the $6 million overall stay order. It's a worldwide stay order that Dr. Wright is no longer allowed to sell or liquidate any assets, none of it, until going to the court for approval. And that'll be April 12th. More to come. Stay tuned. We'll see you at the top.